Hi, I'm Ben Quiggle, editor of Woodall's Campground Magazine, and this is another episode of Supplier Showcase. And I am with two gentlemen from Vutility, Chris Stoll, who's vice president of product management, and Aidan Thain, who is an inside sales manager of the company. And guys, it's great to have you on. Vutility, for those who don't know, is a company who offers sub-metering for RV parks and campgrounds. I guess explain a little bit about your history in the business and kind of what you guys do. I guess.
Sure. Nice to meet you, Ben.
Yeah.
So Vutility is a leading provider of energy management solutions in a number of different verticals. So we began this journey about 8 years ago,
Yeah.
mainly focused on the industrial space. But since
Okay.
then, we've branched out to numerous different verticals, including outdoor hospitality. We got introduced to outdoor hospitality about a year ago and realized that our devices are a perfect fit, similar to commercial real estate, and
Mhm.
we kind of jumped in. So our
Yeah.
technology helps campgrounds monitor and optimize energy usage across multiple sites. Effective energy management is becoming increasingly important for campgrounds due to rising energy costs and growing environmental concerns. Proper energy management can lead to significant cost savings and improve sustainability for campground operations.
Yeah.
Measuring energy usage and billing campers has benefits to both the campground operator and campers. Campground operators can remove the risk of estimating energy costs 1 to 2 years in the future with our solutions. They can also benefit by controlling their energy usage, therefore lowering the cost of a campground stay. What
Yeah.
we've seen, and it has been shown that consumers lower their energy usage 30+% when the usage is measured and billed.
So I've been in the industry for a little while, and there are other sub-metering companies, your competition, I would assume. So, like, when I look at like this product solution, the Hot Drop, I guess, is this something that you're just like attaching to like an existing uh, meter or circuit or whatever, or do you guys have to replace the meters, or how does that work? I guess.
Yeah, so you don't actually have to do anything to the existing infrastructure at the campground site.
Okay.
Um, so the hot drop is just a simple snap on. You got the
Yeah.
CT right here, and then you're just simply snapping it on the wire, and you're good to
Yeah.
go.
So yeah. All right.
So we're unique in that our installation process doesn't require any additional wiring or electrical work. You
Okay.
simply just snap on the CT, and the device will start reporting real-time energy data at each pedestal.
So
Um,
like park owners don't have to like replace meters or
Correct.
okay.
Correct.
All
So
right.
no existing wiring, nothing else. It's really just going into a pedestal, typical 50, 30, 20 pedestal. You have two hots, one neutral. You'd have two
Okay.
devices, one on the hot, one on the neutral, or one on both hots, sorry. And then you're
Okay.
going to get your full consumption for that pedestal. So I'd say most campgrounds can install utility devices across their entire property. If it's a 200 site property, we can do it in just a matter of hours. Um, we think this is one of our biggest differentiators, and it really ensures minimal disruption to campground operators and guest experiences, while also allowing the campground owners to start benefiting from our energy management solutions pretty much immediately.
So what's the cost difference between, like, let's say if I had to replace a whole meter versus using like this hot drop
Yeah,
device?
so we operate on a capital only model,
Yeah.
which basically just means that campgrounds only pay for the initial hardware and the installation. There's no recurring fees, so
Okay.
everything you pay is up front. And you basically what happens is, we get a scope of the park, we get a layout of the park, and then we have a team of installers and electricians that we scope the project to tell you how many devices you'll need, and then we roll out from there. So I think with our approach, we stand in pretty stark contrast to a lot of our competitors in the space who are
Mhm.
charging ongoing subscription and service fees. We realize that a lot of campground owners in the outdoor hospitality space, in the commercial real estate space, they don't like recurring fees. So we changed our model so that it wasn't that and it's only capital.
Okay.
We believe that the model leads to significantly lower total cost of ownership compared to other energy management solutions. But not only that, the capital approach also simplifies budgeting and financial planning for the campground operators.
Yeah. I guess one of the reasons some others might have subscription fees is because they do have a software like on the back end that park owners use. I guess is that something you guys provide as well, or I imagine you guys integrate with PMS systems too.
Yeah, Chris, do you want to kind of take
Sure.
that part?
Yeah, so we definitely can integrate into any park management system.
Yeah.
Um, we have the webhooks APIs to make that integration painless.
Hmm.
Webhooks and APIs are just standard methods to integrate software applications and to transfer data. We just recently integrated into Campground Commander, and that was a very quick and easy integration. So yeah, basically any PMS we can integrate into and we can get that data right there for them.
Yeah,
Okay.
and just to add on to that, if a campground owner, from what the deployments we've done, we've run into some campgrounds where they don't have a PMS set up yet.
Hmm.
We offer a complimentary billing application as part of the solution. So it's baked
Okay.
into our capital only model. So, like I said, no recurring fees. But the app really just simplifies the process of generating invoices. What you're basically doing in there is you're just taking all of your campsites, generating a report for 30 days, and then you're going to get your total cost per pedestal, right, or per site, with our software. So there's a couple different options, right? We ideally want to integrate with the PMSs and have been working to do so. But if they don't have a PMS or we're not integrated yet, they have a billing app where they can generate an invoice, and it's pretty easy.
Yeah. Um, I imagine the system relies on Wi-Fi to some degree. I guess explain a little bit about how the meters communicate with those systems, and if you're an RV park that struggles with Wi-Fi, I guess is there a certain Wi-Fi standard they have to be able to operate the system? I guess.
Yeah, so we actually operate on LoRaWAN,
Okay.
which is short for Long Range Wide Area Network.
Okay.
Um, and the reason we chose LoRaWAN is because, like I said at the start, when we started in the industrial space, a lot of those areas are very complex.
Yeah.
It's hard to get signal, out of those areas. LoRaWAN just kind of gives us the flexibility of having a gateway in a central location, and then the devices are going to be able to, interact with that gateway more easily than Wi-Fi, right? So, in a campgrounds park, typically, let's just say it's a 100 site park, you'd have a gateway, kind of at your office location or at a center location, and then the devices
Yeah.
are all going to communicate via LoRaWAN to that gateway. The gateway is set up via either Wi-Fi or cellular. So we have a couple options to connect there. But what we've seen with the deployments we've done is LoRaWAN's really good for the campground space,
Mhm.
just because we don't need that many gateways to set up. Right, it's about, I think, 230 devices per gateway is what we can do on the max. So,
Okay.
I would say campgrounds have no more than 2, 3 gateways depending on their layout.
Okay. Yeah. What's been, how many, well, I don't know if you have a number, but how many parks are you guys in so far, and what's been the reaction, I guess?
Yeah, so we're in about 60 plus parks right now. The reaction's been great. I think what's helped is that we have a dedicated support process, for handling any sort of accuracy related questions or concerns. We're committed to the customer to quickly resolving any issues. With that dedicated support team, we're getting real time data. We're always
Mhm.
looking at the data to ensure that the customer is getting what they should be getting.
Mhm.
And we maintain full transparency in our data collection and reporting methods. So campgrounds can request detailed reports or explanations of their energy usage data at really any time.
Yeah. Yeah. And, what's been the cost saving? I don't know if you guys have an average number of how much a park saves, but I guess, what's been the cost savings that these customers have realized, I guess.
Yeah, so we say payback is between 1 to 3 years. I think with our model, you may pay a little bit more upfront, but
Yeah.
obviously you're saving on the recurring fees since there are none. Um, so I would say that's the biggest cost savings, and another one of the biggest cost savings is what I mentioned previously is with the install, right? Being able to not meddle with the existing infrastructure. We don't have to do anything. They don't need a meter on their pedestals, right? It's we're not doing anything to the park that's going to disrupt their existing infrastructure. So I would say that's another one of our big cost savings is that the rapid install time of getting in, we could get in a 200 site park in, probably 4 hours or less, right? And be
Yeah.
able to cover the whole park.
What's the regulatory environment like? I know, like some areas, it seems like the electric companies go pretty hard on people who sub meter stuff. Do you run into those kinds of issues, or have the
Yeah, so
yeah
I'll kind of let Chris talk about kind of the accuracy of the devices and kind of what we're doing there, and then that'll kind of tie into what your question is.
okay, all right, yeah,
Yeah, so our devices are highly accurate with revenue grade precision. So the
yeah,
hot drop sensor, exceptionally accurate, 99.5% plus accuracy. And the good thing is that's even at the low levels seen at campgrounds. We do this through a proprietary nanotech meter. So most other meters, their accuracy is rated at 5% to 120% of listed amperage. And in most cases, that means that they're really only accurate down to about 5 amps. We're accurate to well below 2 amps. So this ensures reliable measurements across a wide range of power consumption scenarios. We also bring the data back every minute. So if you're metering transient campers, that means that as they pull out, you're getting the accurate data right at the time of billing. Um, if there happens to be power quality issues, which we'll test for at the installation, we can install another device volt drop alongside the hot drops, and that will measure the voltage and power factor and use that along with the data from the hot drops for billing. And this provides a highly accurate meter reading. And like I said, as part of our managed services, we can do the audit up front. There are some states and areas where our device is not certified, and that's because we don't have a digital readout on it. And we will here in the future and be able to do that, but there is a new standard that's being worked on. It's an ANSI NEMA standard that will allow submetering without a digital readout. It's very interesting because in this day and age, most customers never go out and look at their electric meter.
yeah,
And it was always put there, so that the consumer could look at it. But the new standard will make it so that consumers can look at their digital meter and see what those values are.
okay, all right, yeah. Wow, yeah. I mean, the technology is changing all the time. It's incredible. I guess have you guys been working on any other kinds of meters like water metering or anything else like that?
So I would say in the campground space, I think we've really focused on electrical.
Okay.
Um, so I would say Hot Drop is our main product line for the campground space or outdoor
Yep.
hospitality space. But like Chris said, we have a three phase. Or for campgrounds, it's going to be different. We can make it two phase or three phase, but basically a three phase full power meter. That gives you voltage because what we've seen in some campgrounds is that
Okay.
as you get further down the line, the voltage is going to lag. What the volt drop allows us to do is basically measure that voltage in real time and then correlate that data with the hot drops. And then you're getting a KWH estimate at, a real time KWH estimate at each pedestal.
Yeah. Is this something that you feel is going to continue to grow as park owners wanting to be able to control the energy costs?
For sure, for sure. I think we're already playing a significant role in modernizing the campground energy management and promoting sustainability in the outdoor hospitality industry.
Yeah.
I think as it becomes increasingly important, we believe that we're well positioned to support the evolving needs of campgrounds.
Okay. Well, how do people learn more information about Vutility?
Yeah, so vutility.com/campgrounds, Ben, that you kind of previewed earlier.
Yeah.
or you send an email to sales@vutility.com, and I'll be your first response, and can kind of help you out through the process and talk about what you need for your park.
And are you guys going to be at any conferences this fall?
I will be at the OHI show with one of my installers, Jimmy Perry. He's one of our electricians on our team. He's done I don't know how many campgrounds already installed.
Okay.
So me and him will both be there. I think we are in booth 901.
Yeah, it's a pretty big expo. So,
Yeah,
well,
no, looking forward to it.
well, thank you, Aidan and Chris, for coming on and sharing all the information about Vutility.
Yeah, no, thank you, Ben. I appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you, Ben.
Yep. Thanks. All right. And we will see you guys next time.